Hey there, YouTube. Cheers. Just drinking a little bit of this diet green citrus tea. Hope everyone is doing well. It's been a while since I've gotten on, and so I want to make this a quick video. One of the things that I started doing was listening to some of the songs or the music of my youth that I really had that brought back good and fond memories. And so I don't know, maybe the last month or so, month and a half, every week I've been listening to two or three albums from my youth, and I wanted to keep the video short, on less than 10 minutes if I can. And so what I thought I would do is just every now and then get on and share maybe two of those albums, three, depending on how the time goes, of some of the favorite albums and maybe even some singles from my youth. I was born in the early 70s, and so, some of my best teenage years were in the 80s, and youth, young being in the 70s. And so that's what I have today. I have a couple of albums that I want to share with you all that have really special meaning to me. And so I did look up a little bit of the statistics on those records. Thought I would show them. I hope something that I show maybe brings back some memories from you. If you're not familiar with the records, hey, even if you don't have them on vinyl, maybe go stream them. Take a listen. So anyway, again, I want to keep this kind of short. Sorry about that. And so and I didn't do this on purpose, but the two albums that I want to show in this first video are both from the year of 1984, and they are two very special albums for me from different parts of 84. And so without further ado, the first album that I'll share is this Chicago 17, an absolutely fantastic album. Now this album was released rather May 14th, 1984. This isn't the original copy that I had, but here's the inner sleeve, and on that classic Warner Brothers logo. And you know what, I should probably take it out of the sleeve here. It's easier to see. And this simple yet nice, I consider, Chicago 17 cover. So this album was released on May 14th, 1984. There were several singles from that album. Stay the Night was the first one in April of 84. Then Hard Habit to Break. That's when I started to listen and notice. And so what makes this special for me was this came out just before I completed the seventh grade. This was like a couple of weeks before I entered the seventh grade. And so that summer, I ended up, I went to Catholic schools in Chicago, Catholic school in Chicago, Leo. And that summer, I got to go to like a summer camp at another school called Quigley, another Catholic school called Quigley South. And I made my first white friend. I grew up in a black community, black friends growing up, but I made my first white friend. His name was Dave, and I still remember that. I remember I went to his house and spent some time with him. He came to my house, and we just had some fun. But anyway, I first heard Hard Habit to Break at his house, and because that came out July 18th of 84, so it would have been new when we were going to summer camp together. Anyway, I just and there was a radio station in Chicago, B96. I think it's probably still on the air, but where they played more of the pop rock songs of the day. I think the last time I listened to them, many over a decade ago, they were more hip hop. But anyway, they B96 used to play this a lot of these records, and Hard Habit to Break and You're the Inspiration. I was a sucker for a ballad in my teenage years, even though it was hard for me to get a girl to dance with me. I really like ballads, and so and what also makes this special for me is I started to hear this. I started to like the songs on there, and my big sister Pam gave me this album for Christmas of '84. I was in the 8th grade then, and so I played this album all throughout 8th grade when I was taking the public transit bus to high school because it was too far to walk. I remember I recorded this album on a cassette, and I would even play it sometimes or listen to it on the bus ride to and from school. And so this, and even today, this is one of my favorite albums. So many songs on here. Stay the Night, Hard Habit to Break, You're the Inspiration, and Along Comes a Woman were the singles released from this record. But in addition to those, there's a ballad on there. I remember the feeling, and I remember that song, and I remember listening to that song so much. And so this album just, even today, it's been over 40 years since this album is released, and I still feel I'm back in the 8th grade, 9th grade, listening to this song, and it's just it's a joy to listen. I also have this on CD because there was another song from this session released on the CD. I don't remember what the title is of because I haven't played that CD in many years, but it's this album that I listen to the most. Chicago 17, classic album. If you're not familiar with this, please do yourself a favor and go stream that. If you haven't listened to that in a while, I want to encourage you to go listen to that one. Anyway, we're already 7 minutes in, so much for a 10-minute video. The second album for me from 1984, and I have some notes here on my notepad because I forget things now. The second album is this classic, Prince, Purple Rain, and I'm telling you, this album came out on June 25th of '84. That summer, I was in summer camp, day camp. Here is that classic label. This is a reissue on purple vinyl from 2021, and this iconic album. Here's the inner sleeve that this came with, and let's take it out the plastic sleeve. And here is the album. This was a Target exclusive. I don't remember how much I paid for this, but it's not that expensive or that hard to find. This also came with a really cool poster. I'm not gonna. Well, you know what? While I'm here, some people might want to see it. I'm trying to make this short, but I hope you can see the whole poster. It's actually more of the band. And so this album, what makes this special to me? Oh my goodness. And so I remember when this came out that summer, back in the old neighborhood, I had a friend named Brian. Brian looked exactly like Prince. That could have been, and because we would have been teenagers, 13. Well, actually, I wasn't quite 13 when this came out. I didn't turn 13 until November of that year. But we were young. Brian was probably the same height as Prince, too, but he would put on his mother's blouse, and he looked just like him. And so what we ended up doing was we created this tribute band, and we played the entire Purple Rain soundtrack we just recorded the album, and this album, my mother, I remember my mother bought me this because, and I don't even remember if I saw the movie when it came out. I've seen the movie. I don't remember when I've seen the when I first saw it. It was an okay movie. It's not bad. It was the soundtrack that really captured me. And so I remember my mother buying me this album because I just begged and begged and begged that summer for it because we really fell in love. When Dove's Choir was the first single that came out May 16th of 84. And I remember hearing that on the radio and just absolutely fell in love with that song. And then the second single was Let's Go Crazy. That was released June 18th of 84. And I still remember that. Funny story. But anyway, let's not get too far ahead of myself. So we had this band. I was the drummer. I learned how to play the drums. And we played this entire album, including Darling Nikki. And our parents just came and supported us. We got people from the neighborhood. I don't know. I think we charged like $1 to get in, and our parents bought us all the costumes, and I had a little set of drums, and we practiced every day that summer, and we were unleashed. We had little concerts. People in the neighborhood came and supported us. I remember we participated in one at a skating rink. I don't even remember what skating rink we were at, but we were kind of far out. We were in a talent show. I think we finished third in that talent show. But this has so many fond memories of me of this album throughout. I was in the when this came out. I had already finished the seventh grade. Was going into the eighth grade. So my entire eighth grade career involved Prince, Purple Rain, listening to this. Brian had a sister, and his sister looked just like Sheila E. So when we did our performances, Sheila E. was the opening act, and we came in as Prince and the Revolution. And we ripped it up, or at least we thought we did. And so one more funny story before I wrap this up. I will never forget, there was a DJ in Chicago on a radio station, WGCI, named Bob Wall. And Bob Wall was unique at that time in the sense that he was a white DJ, but he really liked soul music. And WGCI at the time played soul music, a lot of Motown stuff, a lot of the current R&B and soul music of the time, and even some of the 70s funk from back then. But when Let's Go Crazy came out, if you may or may not remember, but the flip side to that 12-inch single was a song called Erotic City featuring Sheila E. No, we did not perform that song when we performed the music from the soundtrack. We stuck just to the album tracks. But one morning when I was getting ready to go to school, so because if my mom woke me up for school and left me in my room, I was going back to sleep. So when my mom woke me up in the morning, I had to go sit in her room and get dressed. She had the lights on and the radio up blaring. The music would keep me up, and that kept me occupied to get dressed and get ready for school. And one morning, the great Bob Wall played Erotic City uncut on the radio in the morning. It was probably, I don't know, I think probably I left for school at, I don't know, like 7:30 in the morning. So it's probably 6:30, 6:45. I'm getting ready for school. Erotic City comes on. My mother was, I think she was in the kitchen making my lunch or something, or she wasn't in the room, but that song came on, and maybe she didn't hear it at first. I don't know, maybe she was in the bathroom or something. But I just remember my mother running into her room, trying to turn off the clock radio that was playing it. She couldn't figure it out. She just unplugged the whole thing so that I could not hear Erotic City. And I still remember that. That was literally in 1984, I believe it was. It was not long after it came out, and not long after Let's Go Crazy had been a single. He eventually got fired, I want to say. or he got suspended or something. He ended up having some other issues. This is not the time to talk about that. Just look up Bob Wall Chicago. But that and just playing in that band, and we had so much fun. And so this album, Prince Purple Rain, just became a part of my eighth grade life and even in the high school. And so, this is a reissue from 2021. I do have an earlier pressing, but I just used this one because this one was in better shape. Anyway, so that's the two records. I wanted to keep this under 10 minutes. I'm so sorry. But I will end it there. Please, share in the comment section of, how you feel about these records. If you have something from your youth that is really super important to you. Hopefully in future videos of this, I'll keep them 10, 12 minutes or so. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. May God bless and keep you, and cheers.